Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2015. This rant will be on Jeb Bush. Saw Jeb Bush got out a little bit this weekend. He's starting to throw out his credentials, trying to articulate his policy positions. He started out at Liberty University, and then he had a disastrous interview with Megyn Kelly. I don't think that interview is really going to haunt him. He'll be able to clear things up, indicate that he didn't quite hear the question correctly. But I'd like to say one thing about that is that, these people, they know what they're going to get asked, especially from someone like Megyn Kelly. They know exactly what she's going to ask. He gets prepped. He sits down in front of people. He rehearses his lines. They make sure he has all the right words in there. He memorizes his lines. So for him to have missed that is pretty big to me. But again, I don't think that's going to hurt him overall. Now, I did notice that when he spoke at the Liberty University that he had to wait for his applause lines. Note to campaign: put your ringers out front, have them in the front rows, have them jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and hollering and clapping when he hits those applause lines, so everyone else will get up there and Jeb doesn't have to sit there and look a little bit awkward. I noticed the same thing with Scott Walker once or twice. He's got his shtick down really good. So Jeb's speech at Liberty University, nothing really special, sort of put out his lines. He indicated with Megyn that you won't find much distance between him and his brother. Is that going to be for his Social Security? Remember how George Bush's Social Security thing died? He thought he could, now that he had won the election in 2004, that he could use his political clout, and it just died. He just moved away from that thing. What are Jeb's positions going to be? Jeb seemed to indicate that possibly, the greatest religion out there is Christianity, and there is no other, or Christ or whatever. Maybe because he's a converted to Catholicism, and I'm pretty sure that those Southern Baptists and a lot of those Pentecostals, they don't really like Catholics that much. Yeah, I don't know why. I never felt that way. I'm a RC. I'm a recovering Catholic, but I don't think that'll come to haunt him either. He's got to play for his base, and he's got to continue to play for his base. So the couple things that I noticed about Jeb is that, number one, he still doesn't look that good. He's still overweight, still has a triple chin type of look. Those glasses don't work with him. He doesn't look good in the cap and gown. He looked very monotone with Megyn when he was talking. Didn't show the kind of passion, didn't show the enthusiasm. When you watch Ted Cruz speak, when you watch Scott Walker speak, they have that enthusiasm. They're convinced that they're going to be the ones that can do it. I don't even think that Jeb is showing that he really wants it. One thing his brother did is he had that little bit of a swagger. He smiled a lot to people. He engaged in them more. So it appears to me as if Jeb doesn't really, not that he doesn't want it, but he does not appear as if he's that enthused that he really wants it. And I don't know if that's being portrayed out there or not. And remember, the Republicans are going to go for him. The Democrats are going to go for Hillary or whoever else. And it's just those people in between that you got to find. And unfortunately, sometimes looks can be a factor in the whole thing. But the big issues are going to be the 4 or 5 things. Foreign policy, is he going to be lockstep in tune with his brother? We've got a lot of problems in the Middle East, Iran, Yemen, Syria with the northern part of Iraq with ISIL. There could be all kinds of things that can happen between now and then. Don't know how good or bad that may play out, but we'll have to see. He's already indicated that the states should decide what's going to happen on gay marriage. Will he have to change his tune when the Supreme Court comes out and makes a decision in the next month or two? I don't think he's really said a whole heck of a lot about climate change. Be interesting to see where his position is going to be on climate change. And these 3 or 4 things, these are the things I don't know if a Republican get elected. If they're against gay marriage and if they're against climate change. As I said, he's going to do the states thing with gay marriage. He can't really do that with climate change because not only do the states need to get involved, but the federal government would need to get involved, especially the federal government. And of course, that's what Newt Gingrich said years ago. He was for climate change until he was against it, and he was against it because the realization is that the Republicans, as being the limited government type of thing, basically doesn't want to believe that the government has a useful role, would have to admit that the government would have to take a very, very top level, the top level thing on climate change, and it would have to be in reference to all types of industries, how we can affect climate change, recycling, not using as much energy, using alternative forms of energy, etc., etc. The next thing is comprehensive immigration reform. Where's Jeb going to stand on that? Now, he's probably going to do the same thing that they all do. Let's increase the borders first. Then, of course, once you increase the borders, then you push the goalpost back, and then you push the goalpost back so that in 2080, after we have 4 moats in between 4 fences that are 30 feet high across the 1,800 miles from Brownsville, Texas to San Diego, then maybe we can talk about the rest of the comprehensive immigration reform. And, of course, he has also indicated that there is compassion and there is love in those people that risk everything to come up north so that they can make some money and have a decent life. And they send a tremendous amount of money back to especially those Central American countries in terms of El Salvador, Nicaragua, what else is there? Belize down there, Costa Rica. And Jeb is not as hardline, so he's going to have to hardline it up, or where will he stand on that? Another thing is the minimum wage. The minimum wage could be a big thing in the next election, as we see that states and cities are now raising the minimum wage. You can't live off $7.75 an hour. Is the United States going to continue to subsidize Walmart so that they can pay their people a disastrous, inhumane, immoral wage, and then expect the United States, basically the government, to subsidize them with food stamps and a whole host of other types of things because they can't make a living wage? Where's that going to stand? And that's how it should be phrased. Why should we be subsidizing Walmart, etc.? And so it will be interesting to see where he stands on that. Social Security, where's he going to stand on that? That's another big thing, because the Republicans right now in the House are trying to screw the average working person who needs minimum wage and will continue to need minimum wage. They want to get rid of it. So we'll see how that stands. And also, I think I did mention already the Middle East. Where will things be on that? Jeb has got a lot of explaining to do. He doesn't look good to me. He doesn't look enthused. He doesn't look like he wants it. He doesn't look like it's going to be him. And he appears very monotone. He's still a little bit overweight. He's got a lot to work on. Fortunately, he's got a lot of time to do it. And, he's got a lot of money, so he could do a lot of treadmill work. But let's see what happens in the near future for him.